It was just like a full night's worth of drinking in the span of an hour and a half, easily. Like, 9, 10 drinks. So so alcohol had been done. Everyone did alcohol.
Yeah, we did alcohol.
And then you came back.
And then we decided to try other drugs.
Tiesto'd.
We mollied.
Yeah.
A couple of us, no names.
Majority.
And it was great. And it was going very well. For some reason, the first one I took and a couple people took they felt like duds. Yeah. After like an hour and a half. Mm-hmm. It was like, these aren't working like they usually do. We should take more. Yeah. Which we did. And they worked.
Yes.
And then we were off. And then this is where things on this trip, you guys thought that was a PR nightmare?
Yeah.
It's nothing compared to the trauma I was about to experience.
Well, the mushrooms came out.
Then a giant bag of mushrooms was laid upon the bar.
Yeah. Just laid out.
Yeah, it was like, hey, this is for anybody. And I had already taken quite a lot of Molly at this point. And I decided it was time for me to start eating handfuls of mushrooms. And at first it was great.
Sure.
At first it was wonderful.
Yeah, the trip, fire
switching
going.
between the Molly and into just hallucinations seemed great. It was very fun. And then things took an incredibly dark turn.
Yep.
And I couldn't see or hear for several hours.
Yep. You blacked out.
Or move.
Yeah.
I did. I did. I did pretty much black out.
Mushrooms will black you out.
Yeah.
Especially that much, they immobilize you.
Bro, it was like it started. I think I was still chatting with you when it started.
I had 6 eyes.
Yeah, apparently. You had 6 eyes. Everybody had multiple eyes.
People had multiple faces and shit. I was hearing, people were telling me, I was getting the reports from everyone the next day. And like, dude, like, I think Spud had like 6, he had like 4 faces from one. I was watching people communicate telepathically, being like, I just thought that too. It was very fucking funny to walk in on.
You're lucky you didn't do it.
Yeah, I
know you said Yeah.
That
was bad.
I have my 5 grammer coming up in a week, basically.
That was
and
a bad
like,
way.
let me chill.
I should have never done that.
No, you should have. That was important. You did that.
In hindsight, I'm like, that was cool, but at the time, that was legit the worst thing I've ever experienced.
Dude, I was telling you, man, you went into it like it was literally Cult of Dionysus that just got absolutely stormed by medieval Catholicism. You guys it was drinking, it was Molly, and then all of a sudden it was just,
and then it was like, it's time to examine everything.
Yeah, dude.
How about some trauma? You want to relive that 1,000 times like it's brand new every time for 5 hours?
Which is funny too, because that's like a really effective form of therapy. That works. It's exposure therapy. That's how you move a thing from your amygdala down to the area of like where things have been processed and they don't affect your biology.
Yeah,
pretty crazy.
There was some things that apparently were a little more traumatic than I originally thought. Yeah. And they came back.
Yeah,
quite a bit.
Yeah, man.
And every time I'd be like, did that happen? Oh, fuck. And then a minute later, I'd be like, oh, fuck. Did that happen? Fuck. Just over and over again. And then I'd forget about it and keep going. We were sitting out by this fire. Every single thing somebody said, the way my brain was processing it, it felt like they had just said it a minute before. So, like, if you were like, hey, what's up, man? It would have felt like you said it twice.
You pierced the veil, dude.
And I'd just be like, what?
Yeah, you pierced the space-time continuum.
Dude, I couldn't process one thing. And apparently I was just sitting there by this fire. I was like,
yeah.
And then I'd like look up out of my hat and be like, what? Dude, I couldn't move for 5 hours. I was just like, what?
Holy shit.
It was terrible. Then Hoss was sitting there. Hoss butt fucked me. Matt's cousin Hoss is a absolute demon.
Yeah.
Complete gargoyle.
Yeah, you told him.
He sat there. I was like, dude, you're the worst.
Well, he had faltered. He had faltered earlier, and he rebuilt himself.
Yeah.
I was there for him rebuilding himself. So I was there with him when he was faltering. I was chilling out by the fire, just shooting the breeze with him, and he rebuilt himself back up to his former glory. And then just saw you and just fully was just like,
yeah, he's like, what's wrong with him?
I do think he was trying to help you. He was just hossing.
He
just regained hoss powers, dude, and he couldn't help not hoss out on you.
And those hoss powers are while you're in the nether realm, intolerable.
So you were sitting there, you were chilling, and Hoss
Spudman was to my left, and he was giving me all the support he could. Mm-hmm. He knew.
Yeah.
He could see me and he'd be like, Shane, you're the man. You're the man. I'd just be like, thanks. Or I'd be like, what? Guys, I'm blind. I can't see. It was, and then they'd be talking, and it would just be gibberish. I couldn't understand, and then I was just staring at the fire. It was very cool. Like the hallucinations were awesome.
Yeah,
that's why I'm wearing tie dye now.
Obviously,
shit. But
it's funny. You went and busted out your one tie dye as Notre Dame. Sweet. You have a Notre Dame shirt for every type of occasion.
Yeah, for every mood I'm in. But yeah, and then I finally, I'll just fast forward, mustered the strength to stand. And I was like, all right, I'm going to bed. Even when I did that, Hoss was like, are you actually this time? And I was like, what? Like, I must have said it 1,000 times. I gotta go to bed.
Yeah.
So I go in, I lay down. This is where the worst one happened.
Yeah.
I was laying in bed.
You sought shelter. That's a reflex that happens,
dude.
You eventually are like, can I just go like encase myself in a?
It was like,
that's where it kicked off.
Fully clothed.
Yeah.
Shoes on, probably just laying on top of this bed with my feet hanging off of it, like face down. And I started hallucinating that I was dying.
Yeah.
Of, I presume, a drug overdose. That's what I think it was.
Yeah.
And like, I could see it. It was just totally real. Like, it was like my friends were around me at first while I was laying there, like dead, dying on the ground. Like, I saw Beezer being like, what the fuck, dude? Oh. Like, this is fucked up, dude. And I was like, eh. And then I would die. Like, I would leave and I would go to heaven or something. Yeah. Where Phil was for some reason. My dad was there. Yeah. I was like, Dad, I love you. Like, it was like that. And then I would get shot back to dying with like EMTs like shining lights into my eyes and like, Shane, are you there? Like trying to resuscitate me. Damn, it fucking sucked ass, dude.
How long was that for?
I have no idea.
I don't know if time even applies.
I swear to God, I have no idea, but it felt like forever. So like, it was all night.
You lived out a potential deviation in your potential. I mean, you have an infinite amount of timelines, but you went and visited one of them.
Yeah, it was a sad time.
You did the ghost of fentanyl past.
I did, yes. I did the ghost of cocaine future, dude. And I have done with drugs for a long time. Damn, dude. I was offered drugs last night. I said, get that junk out of here, dude. Damn. I said, I've been there, done that. No.
I've died and come back.
I have died. On the third day, I rose.
Whoa, dude.
I'm risen.
Dude, that's fucking awesome.
It was, it was terrible.
I can't wait to see what the mushroom demons show me, dude. I'm gonna get rocked.
Don't do
I'm doing 5 grams total silence. I have to, dude.
I know you do. I know you do.
At this point.
And you're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be, if it's anything like I just did, it's gonna suck.
I mean, especially you did it will be difficult for sure. But like, dude, that's horrible.
I wasn't prepared. I wasn't mentally prepared at all for that. I was on Molly, just like, everything's the shit, dude. Everything's the best. I love all you guys so much. Yep. And then just like a fucking switch, it was just like, you're a fag. I was like, what? It was crazy. But this made me laugh. Like, even when I was like in the darkest realms of this shit, like couldn't see, like anything I looked at was just squiggles and hallucinating. Sure. Every once in a while, Butterly would talk, and he was using this like, yeah, man, everything's great. Like this real monotone thing. And something deep inside me, like while I was out, would be like, yeah, that shit's so gay. Like, still in me, I'd be like, that's so gay. It was fucking crazy, dude.
Damn.
Yeah. Then I passed away, came back, woke up to everyone leaving. It was raining.
Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah.
It was the saddest.
It was the worst day.
It was the saddest.
It was like a gloomy, cold rain.
Dead trees because we were still in the mountains.
Cleaning up shit.
Everyone cleaning, just laying there. It was one thing that was funny. I looked at Billy because Billy was like looking at me like, "Holy shit, dude, how are you?" And I was like, that's what I call a party. like waking up from hallucinating and dying and being like, hell yeah, that ruled. Sick party.